first of all, there are legitimate objections that this is too close to an election, but Joe Biden said that this was not constitutional, which is a rather curious thing to say. The Constitution allows for the filling of vacancies. Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg herself said a president doesn't stop being president in his final year, and she encouraged the Senate to vote on nominees. Indeed, all of these Democrats in 2016 insisted that a vote should be held. So it is constitutional. Now, one could really question the time and say that this is not appropriate, but when it comes to the process itself, the president is using his authority to fill a vacancy. The senators can vote for any reason, good, bad, or no reason at all, against a nominee. But it's rather hard to understand people suggesting that this is somehow unconstitutional.
Professor, stand by. I want to bring in Chris Wallace, who joins our coverage as well. And Chris, what Professor Turley was referring to a moment ago reminded me of what Senator Lee said. The question before us is not about compassion for others with regard to the pictures of those that have been assembled there throughout that hearing room. Where do you think we are, Chris? What do you think we expect coming up next after the break?
Well, I want to respond to both Congressman Gowdy and to Professor Turley. Congressman Gowdy suggested, how did we get from almost unanimous votes for Ruth Bader Ginsburg and a unanimous vote for Antonin Scalia to the hyper-partisan situation we're in now? Now, there's not one step, but you have to look back at 2016 when Antonin Scalia died suddenly, and with, I think, 269 days to go, President Obama named Merrick Garland as his nominee to the court, and in an exercise of pure political power, not to say it's unconstitutional, but they simply decided they weren't going to entertain. They weren't going to meet with Merrick Garland. They weren't going to have a hearing on Merrick Garland. But now, with 3 weeks, 22 days left to go, they're having the hearing for Judge Barrett. There's nothing in the Constitution that says, well, if there are different parties, there's nothing in a legal precedent that says there isn't. It was simply a question that Mitch McConnell and the Republicans had the votes, and they decided they were going to block the Garland nomination, and they were going to push through the Barrett nomination. Then when it comes to policy, you hear the Republicans continue to say, look, they want to make Supreme Court nominees into super legislators. We're just talking about a judge applying the law. The problem with that, of course, is the fact that President Trump has said over and over again what he hopes to get from these judges, and talking about doing the right thing on issues like the Affordable Care Act. And then finally, to Judge Turley and Shannon Bream, who were suggesting it's really a reach to talk about the idea that they might strike down the Affordable Care Act. In fact, what they're hearing is a ruling by a Texas federal judge, which in fact struck down the entire Affordable Care Act. So it may be that the court doesn't decide to do that, but that's the case that's before the court, and that's the action that the judge at the lowest court took that they're going to be considering. So I don't think it's such a reach to say that is the potential implication of a 6-3 conservative majority on the court, that the Affordable Care Act will be on the docket.
Very interesting. Three things said there. We wanted to get a break here. Professor Turley, what about this point about Merrick Garland? He had a Republican Senate, Democratic president at the time. It's a Republican president and clearly a Republican Senate for now. What is your view on that?
Look, you need truly waiters to get through the rising hypocrisy from both parties. That's nothing new. Both parties are adopting the opposite views that they had in 2016. Although I'm not too sure the Democrats would be doing anything different if they were given this vacancy and this opportunity. But I want to note, and certainly Chris Wallace raises some good points, the lower court did strike down the ACA, but there do not appear to be a majority, it does not appear to be a majority of votes from our count of overturning the entire act. In fact, the betting money is that conservatives might join liberals.
Jonathan, if I may, the point I'm simply making is this. That's what the court did. You're predicting how judges, including one who's not even on the court yet, are going to vote. I'm just saying.
No,
I'm not saying
no,
what's
no,
gonna
I'm-
happen.
I'm-
You don't know
I'm
what's going to
sorry.
happen. Let me just
Wait,
finish. You don't know what's going to happen, and I don't know what's going to happen. But the fact is, for Democrats to talk about the cases of these individual people and to say that their lives might be at stake is not an irrational
Jonathan,
leap.
we wanna
That's
hear
the
your
case
response.
that's being heard by the court.
Jonathan, we want to hear your response.
All right.
Hold it right there. We're going to take a really quick break and we will be right back.